let's discuss online course platforms. There are so many out there to pick from, and as you're starting off as a first-time course builder, it's easy to make uninformed decisions that you regret later, getting you to a platform that either isn't serving your needs or is only serving your needs for a short period of time, and then you have to move to someone else and to something else, and nobody wants that. So you've got some teaching materials. You're teaching one-on-one with it, either in person or over a Zoom or a Google meeting. And now you want to make it available online. And, there's a lot of options there. You can reach a larger audience. You can teach people who might not be able to afford or don't want to pay what you charge for your one-on-one services. And it's an opportunity for you to grow a new revenue stream. So let's go over what are the things that you want to consider as you're selecting your platform for this new endeavor, right? So first things to consider, when you're building an online course for the first time, you want to make sure that the technology doesn't get in the way. You don't want that to be the focus of what you're doing, because what you really need to be focused on is selling it, making sure that you're selling it at the right price. You want to make sure that you're working with your first time, your first members, providing them with adjustments, changes, learning from that, so that you can make your course better and better and better. And if you're focused so much on the technology, it can very easily become a huge distraction. If you check below, I give you a link to our breakthrough course building system, and in there, especially if you're just starting and you're trying to test out your market, I recommend you use something as simple as a private Facebook group. My focus there, and I just want to emphasize how important it is for the technology to not get in your way, because if it gets in your way, it's keeping you from success. And if you do go with something like a private Facebook group, the assumption is you're going to use it in a beta or in a proof of concept phase, and then later you'll move to something else. But that's how important it is to not get distracted from the very beginning. So the first option for you to consider is a software as a service platform. And there's a lot of them. You have Kajabi, you have Thinkific, you have, there's a bunch of them here. Let me go through my list. Teachable. And one that we highly recommend, we're starting to recommend it a lot, is High Level. High Level has built into it a really good membership and online course platform that a lot of people don't even recognize. And because it comes as a part of a CRM, you get a lot of functions like e-commerce, you get the tagging, you get the access control, a lot of and the video hosting, all that's included. So that's something for you to consider, and if you want more information on that, I provide a link below where you can contact us about that. But here's the thing about software as a service platforms. They have what they have, and that's it. If they don't have something you want, either in the short term or in the long term, then you have to figure out what you're going to do. So when you're investigating which software as a service platform is best for you, you want to make sure that it provides you with everything you need in the short term, because the last thing you want is to be struggling with a function you need right from the start. So make sure that that's the case. Now, the other thing you want to look at is the pricing model. Many of these SaaS solutions price their memberships so that at the beginning you're not paying them much, and then you're paying more and more as you're selling more and more of your courses. So that sets you up for a business model that doesn't scale particularly well, especially if you have a higher priced offering. So keep those kind of things in mind. Now, you always should go into a SaaS solution with the thinking that eventually you're going to outgrow it. You don't want to outgrow it too soon, but go in with the assumption that it's a solution that helps you get into the market quickly, that you don't have to suffer through the technology because it's pretty straightforward, but go with the assumption that at some point you're going to need something that it doesn't provide. Let me give you an example. At the beginning, you might have a B2C model. You're selling to individuals, so you're selling one course, a package of course, whatever those might be, but you're selling it to one individual. If you anticipate, or in the future, if you run into a requirement where you're selling your course to an organization, so you have a program that you're teaching to a school, to a church, to a corporation, so that a lot of their people get access to it, that might not be something that your SaaS solutions are going to make available to you. Some might, but that's definitely something to consider. One last thing I want to say about SaaS solutions is many years ago, when we started building online course sites, we had a customer that had an option between a SaaS solution and a WordPress solution, which is very similar to the ones that we build, and I'll be describing those in the next part of this series. They had a partner, advisor, someone else who was telling them, oh, the software as a service solution is the greatest thing since sliced bread. And we tried to talk them out of it. I mean, we spent a lot of time explaining to them the pros and cons, and they overruled us, and we worked with them to build a very nice solution using that SaaS platform. The problem is, a few months after they launched it, they said, oh, by the way, hey, George, can you do this? And it's kind of like, hey, I'm sorry, the SaaS solution that you picked doesn't provide that. And they said, oh, okay, that's not too bad. A couple months later, they came back to us, hey, we want to do this other thing. And it's like, you picked the SaaS solution, and the SaaS solution doesn't do that. So within 6 months of them launching this project, they were already kind of having second thoughts about having picked that platform. And so that's my warning to you. Now, this was many years ago. The software as a service platforms have come a very long way. So most of what people are doing, I want to say 50 to 80% of what online course builders need are built into these solutions. Otherwise, these guys wouldn't have a market. So keep that in mind as you're picking a software as a service solution. Make sure in the short term that it gives you everything you need and that it's fairly easy for you or your team based on your skill sets to use. But keep in mind that it's not going to service everything, especially as you grow. Make sure that the price points as it scales works the way you want it to, and that you get that quarter support. In part 2, I'm going to be talking about WordPress-based solutions that give you a lot more flexibility. There's more complexity involved, but it's definitely something for you to consider as you're selecting the platform for your business.